Welcome to this exploration of Revelation chapter 6, one of the most dramatic and symbolically rich chapters in the Bible's final book. Let's unpack its profound meaning and the incredible visions it contains. At the heart of this chapter is a divine scroll with 7 seals, and only one being in all of creation is worthy to break them, the Lamb who was slain, Jesus Christ himself. This reminds us that all of history unfolds under his authority and according to his perfect plan. As the seals are broken, we witness the emergence of the famous 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. First comes the white horse. But don't be fooled, this isn't Christ, but rather represents human power and false righteousness, showing how often we mistake earthly authority for divine truth. Following closely is the red horse, bringing war and bloodshed, a stark reminder of humanity's violent tendencies when unchecked by divine restraint. The black horse follows, carrying scales that represent economic hardship and famine. Finally, the pale horse appears, with death itself as its rider, the ultimate consequence of humanity's fallen nature. These 4 horsemen paint a sobering picture of human history's recurring cycles. Conquest leads to conflict, conflict leads to scarcity, and scarcity leads to death. Yet God permits these cycles for his greater purposes. But the vision doesn't end there. The 5th seal reveals something deeply moving: the souls of martyrs beneath God's altar. These are believers who gave their lives for their faith, crying out, "How long, O Lord?" Their presence reminds us that faithful witness often comes at a great cost, but God hasn't forgotten their sacrifice. These martyrs receive white robes, symbolizing their righteousness and God's approval. Though justice may seem delayed from our earthly perspective, this vision assures us that God will ultimately vindicate his people and bring perfect justice in his perfect timing. This chapter masterfully weaves together themes of divine sovereignty, human suffering, faithful witness, and ultimate justice. It reminds us that while human history may seem chaotic and cruel, everything unfolds under Christ's watchful eye and sovereign control. In the grand tapestry of Revelation, chapter 7 stands as a remarkable pause, a divine intermission that reveals both God's justice and his infinite mercy. Let me take you through this fascinating chapter that serves as a breathtaking interlude in the midst of apocalyptic visions. Picture this. We've just witnessed the cosmic terror of the 6th seal, where the very foundations of heaven and earth were shaken by the Lamb's wrath. But before the 7th seal is broken, everything suddenly stops. It's like God hits the pause button, and what unfolds next is simply extraordinary. 4 powerful angels appear at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the winds of judgment. But why? Because something crucial needs to happen first. God's servants must be sealed, protected for what's to come. This is where we encounter the famous 144,000, drawn from the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, don't get too caught up in the exact number. It's more about symbolism than a literal head count. Think of it as God's way of showing perfect completeness and divine order. But here's where it gets even more interesting. The scene suddenly shifts, and we see something absolutely magnificent. A countless multitude of people from every nation, tribe, and tongue. They're dressed in brilliant white robes, holding palm branches, their voices raised in triumphant praise to God and the Lamb. These are the ones who've come through the great tribulation, their robes washed white in the blood of the Lamb. This powerful imagery tells us something profound about God's plan. While he's preserving Israel for future restoration, fulfilling his ancient covenant promises, his mercy extends far beyond. The salvation story isn't limited to one people group. It's universal, reaching to every corner of the earth, to anyone who believes in Christ. What makes this chapter so beautiful is its message of hope. In the midst of judgment and tribulation, we see God's protective hand at work. Those palm branches the multitude carries, they're not just decorative, they're symbols of victory, reminding us that even in the darkest times, God is preserving and protecting his people, both Jew and Gentile, in his perfect plan of redemption. This is the heart of Revelation 7, a powerful reminder that even as history moves toward its climax, God's mercy and protection remain constant for those who are his.